All right, you guys, here we are, day 2, section 10.4, solving by using square roots for quadratic equations. You survived day 1. Day 2, I think, will go well also. But we'll say that things will look a little different today, as you're going to find out. But still, we're solving by taking the square root. At some point in a problem, we have something squared. Again, hence the fact that it's a quadratic equation. We have something squared, and we're able to take a square root to get us closer to the answer. Here's a little review of yesterday, right? If I have just one variable in the problem, in the past it was just x, but now it's x squared being a quadratic, so we should expect 2 answers. Well, I can still, if there's just that one term that has a variable in the problem, I can maybe add 13 in this case to both sides and isolate the variable term. And then in this case, now I have x squared equals 16, so it's kind of like taking the square root. It is taking the square root of that number. And so it's 4, but what I remember is that it's both positive and negative 4. Both those are the answers. We're going to use that plus minus more today, as you're going to find out. So hopefully you kind of stored that in the back of your brain for your answers. I'm going to have you write them a certain way on your paper, but then also evaluate, and if you need to find them to the nearest hundredth, you'll put that into Schoology. So that's going to be how you check your answers, okay? But you'll leave them in this plus minus form, as I'll talk about here soon enough, okay? Take a look at this one. Remember, we talked about how some problems have no answers. I can't square something and get a negative, right? So some people might look at this one and say, well, if I have to square something and get negative 75, but I first have to isolate the variable over here, and I can divide both sides by negative 3, so I get x squared equals 25. Now I got something that's positive. Now I can say x equals plus or minus 5 when I take the square root, okay? So far so good on those problems. Again, using a square root to solve something that's a quadratic. But notice how we can have something that's squared just like a variable by itself, right? And that means this stands for some number times itself. And I can put some number in there and still make the equation true, right? So x squared means something times itself. We'll take a look at some of the problems for today. And this has a binomial that is squared, so something in parentheses. And we've seen this kind of thing before. And we've kind of talked about it a little bit as well, and this is where we actually want to be for these kind of problems. There's a way to work with this. We've talked about how I can have something where it's x minus 3 times x minus 3, and slowly we've started to realize, oh, that means that same binomial squared. So I've asked you to, in the past, start to get in the habit of writing them like this, where it's x minus 3 squared, okay? Realize, again, this is just something that stands for a number 2. I can put a number in for x and minus it by 3, and then whatever that is, I would square it and have to get 25, right? So you can maybe start to even think of a possible answer right now. Like, what could I put in here? Subtract 3, square that number, and get 25. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, 8 would work because that would give me 8 minus 3, which is 5. 5 squared is 25. Very good. But you're going to find out then that negative 8, okay, I'm going to put that as up top here for a second. 8 is one of our answers, but negative 8 actually isn't the other answer. It's not always like these ones from the previous day where it's just the same number plus and minus, okay? When I've got a binomial squared, there's going to be another answer, but it's going to work a little differently, okay? Just like the ones up here, we had something squared equaled like 16 or 25, whatever number it equals over there, right? So same thing, in this situation here, in these problems, you have a binomial squared. It's still going to be like taking the square root of this. So if I do that, it's just going to be like x minus 3 on the left. And now on the right, we're going to start using that plus minus more. The square root of 25 is 5. But remember, there's 2 things that I could square and get 25. It's both positive and negative 5. So in the problems today, when you get to that point, you're going to write it just like that, okay? And now I can still keep solving this problem for x, though. So now what I'm going to do is I got to get x by itself, right, to find my solutions. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And when you do it over here, just add 3 right here. You're going to slip it right in front of that plus minus sign. I'll show you right here. Here's what it's going to look like. X equals, and it's a positive 3 that we added over there, right? So 3 plus or minus 5, okay? I'll write it a little better for you. But from here, we can still get our 2 answers. Okay. Sometimes you're going to find out we're going to leave our answer like this if we don't have integers like this. But in this case, we can find both the answers, right? Because all this is saying is take 3. I kind of say sometimes take the high road and the low road to find your 2 answers. Take 3 plus 5 and 3 minus 5, okay, using both signs, and that will give you your 2 answers. So in this case, 3 plus 5 is the answer we said earlier, 8. And 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And I'm just going to write them in least to greatest order because, again, that's how I want you to write them when you put them in the Schoology. Okay? So one more reminder too, again, just like always, the great thing about algebra problems here too, the magic, okay, is if you ever aren't sure if your answers are correct, take your x values and plug them back in, see if they work, right? If I put in 8, we kind of projected that 8 was one of our answers already. 8 minus 3 gives me 5. 5 squared, 25, right? Check -2. -2 minus 3 gives me -5. Okay, and that's a terrible -5, as you guys are used to from me. But -5 there. And then squared, yep, -5 squared gives me +25. So both these answers check out. In the future too, there'll be certain problems where you do have to check your answers anyway. So still a good habit to be in, but especially if you're not sure, did I do this right or not? Hey, check your answers. You can always do that in algebra. That's part of the beauty of it. Okay, going on to this next one. We'll do a couple examples for you, then I'll let you try it today. Again, I'm going to be solving this equation just like we did for yesterday, but now what I'm trying to do, up here, we were trying to get the x squared variable by itself, right? Well, same idea here, but it's a binomial. It's all grouped together and it's squared, so I still have to get that by itself. Well, just like we did up here, okay, when I have something squared and I'm trying to get it by itself, I can still divide it by the number it's multiplied by, like -3. Up here we divided both sides by -3. Well, here it seemed to be kind of crazy, but that 3 is times this binomial, right? So to get rid of it, I can do inverse operations. I can still divide both sides by 3. The 3's will cancel down to 3 divided by 3 is 1, right? So just 1 of whatever I got over here, which is still the x minus 5 squared. And then over here, 147 divided by 3 gives me 49. Okay, and that works out nicely. Because now, again, we don't write the symbol in typically. There's a little reason for that. But you can think, I'm taking the square root of both sides. Okay, I'll just write it here just to give you the idea. But it's like I'm saying, what times itself gives me these things? Well, over here, it gets rid of the squared power, really. It's just x minus 5, one of them. And the other side, remember, it's square root of 49, which is 7, but it's two cases, positive or -7. Either of those things squared would have gave me 49. So that's why both those are possible answers. Okay? Good. Now I'm going to keep on solving. I still need to get x by itself, right? That's what we're solving for. So add 5 to both sides. And again, a little trick for these is slip the 5 right in front here now. Okay? It cancels out over here, but on this side I get x equals, and I get 5 plus or minus 7. And hidden in there are both our answers. It's saying, take the high road and the low road. 5 plus 7 gives me an answer, and 5 minus 7 gives me an answer. 5 plus 7 ends up being 12. Okay, I'm going to put that over here because I think that's going to be my bigger answer. And 5 minus 7 is -2. So -2 and 12 are my answers. I could double check them as well. I put -2 in up here for x. -2 minus 5 gives me -7. -7 squared would be positive 49, and that times 3, yep, gives me 147. 12 minus 5 gives me 7. 7 squared is also 49. Times 3 gives me 147. Yes, they both check out. They both work. Okay, here's the other 3 examples that I want to go through with you today. Again, right now, if you want, you can stop the video and go ahead and try these and then see what you get. Definitely, though, look at what I get for 6 and 7. I'm going to show you a certain way we're going to write the answer, and then how we're also going to find it to the nearest hundredth. And that's how you're going to plug it into Schoology when the time comes, okay? But I'm going to show you a way that I want you to write the answer going forward as well. First, let me start with number 5 here. So this one, again, just like the ones before, I see there's something squared here. I have a binomial squared in this problem. So I want to isolate that so I could use a square root to solve, okay? Because then I can get rid of that squared power. So first thing I'm going to do, just like if it was just x by itself as opposed to binomial, I can still divide the whole thing by 5 to both sides. And that'll clear the 5's out, right? 5 divided by 5 is 1. And so I've just got x plus 6, that binomial squared over here. And using my calculator over here, I see I get 289 on this side. Now it's like I'm taking the square root of both sides, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what times itself will give me 289. And there's 2 answers, really, as the squared power tells me. Okay, there's 2 possibilities in this case. But to get to them, I'm going to square up both sides. So I just have x plus 6 over here. And on this side, yeah, what numbers squared will give me 289? Well, it's positive and -17, so plus or minus 17. When I do that square root, that's what I get. Now I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and remember, just a little hint here, slide that -6 right in front. So I actually go like this, x equals -6 plus or minus 17. And now when I take the high road, as I call it, and the low road, I take -6 plus 17, and -6 minus 17. I think I get my 2 answers are -23 and 11. So those are my two answers. And again, we're noticing that it's not just negative 23 and positive 23 anymore. I get two different numbers for positive and negative for my answers. And sometimes you can get two negative answers, and sometimes you can get two positive numbers, but just notice, unlike yesterday, they can be different numbers. All right, this next one, we're going to start off the same way we just did. So I have 4 times the binomial squared equals 28. First thing I got to do is get that binomial squared by itself. So divide both sides by 4. The 4's cancel out over here. I have q minus 2 squared equals 7. Here's that part where I'm going to take a square root. Now, take a look here. Here's how I want you to write it on your paper going forward, okay? And when it's time to evaluate, we'll evaluate as well. But let me take the square root of both sides. And what you'll see this more in math as you go on, high school, college, calculus, all that kind of stuff. You will see that as opposed to doing, we talked about the square root of both sides, square root of 7 is some decimal. The first way you write it, though, is just leave it like this, plus or minus the square root of 7. Sometimes we're going to leave answers like this, actually, in our answer, in our assignment, as you're going to find out, or in a test and things like that. And that's okay to leave it with that plus or minus the square root of 7. We know it's an irrational. We can find it out as a decimal if we want. But there's sometimes this form is actually helpful to work with for us. So leave it like that for the time being. And at the very end, we'll find the decimal for it. Okay, but right now, leave it like that. Okay. Now I'm going to keep solving. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, but again, I'm going to slip it in front here is really where it's going to go. And so I'm going to getting q equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 7. And sometimes I'm going to let you leave your answer like that on certain problems. Now in today's particular assignment though, to plug them into Schoology, you do got to find them to the nearest hundredth. But I would circle this on your paper. Okay, in your work I should see that. I want you to leave them like that first. Then go ahead and now keep solving and find out what those would actually equal, okay? So using your calculator, you can figure out, okay, what's the square root of 7, first of all? And I've got mine handy here, too, as soon as I open it up. So I'm getting, when I round that off to the nearest hundredth, 2.65. So this becomes 2 plus or minus, I should say, 2.65 when I square it 7. And now I'll keep going and find my two answers. And here's what you'll plug into Schoology, though. So let's see, 2 minus 2.65 will be my lower one, so 0.65. And when I add them, I get 4.65. So here's what you plug into Schoology, but I also want to see that on your paper as well. Both those are the correct answer. And again, sometimes we'll see this is actually more helpful to work with, or we will use that. Okay, and our last problem here. Again, here's my squared binomial, so I want to isolate that first and solve and get it by itself. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 7, just like a linear equation, right? Subtract 7 from both sides. So now I've got 3 times t plus 3 in parentheses squared equals 24. Oops, 24. Do your math, right? Okay, holding the baby, so that's part of the reason why I'm messing up here. Divide both sides by 3. T plus 3 squared equals 8. And now it's like I'm taking the square root of both sides, really, right? So t plus 3, just that by itself, those two terms, equals the positive or negative square root of 8, okay? So I'm going to leave that just like it is for now. We'll find how what it is to the nearest hundredth in just a little bit. I'm going to keep solving, though. Minus 3 from both sides. Subtract 3. T equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 8. Okay, so now I got that. And again, I would have you leave that as an answer on your paper right now, okay? Like, that's good. For Schoology, though, we will have to figure out what the square root of 8 is and find it to the nearest hundredth. So using your calculator, I'm going to go to my next line now. And again, all this is the work that I should see, all these steps. It takes a lot of steps to get to these answers. That's the way a lot of problems are as we go on in higher math here, okay? So 2.83 is what I get here when I square root 8. And then I'm going to add and subtract that to negative 3. So t equals, let's see, the lower answer would be negative 5.83. Oh, it's getting ugly, guys. Sorry. Bear with me here. And then negative 3 plus 2.83 would be negative 0.17, I believe. Okay? So there's my two answers there. So again, the decimal ones you need for Schoology, but I still want you to leave them like these forms as well when you run into them. And we'll see those again, too, in future assignments, all right? All right, you guys, try it out. Good luck. I think you'll do well on it, but definitely let me know if you're having any trouble. I will help you, okay? And again, help each other out as two. Not giving answers, but help each other with the steps. Talk through it, work through them, and you will figure them out. You will get better as you do them. Okay? Good luck, you guys.